everybody, thank you for coming back to my channel. This is my quick and moist twist out. Starting on freshly washed hair, just putting the front up out the way. I'm going to take off a little bit of the excess water that's in my hair because I don't like to do my twist outs on super damp hair. I just like it just to be damp enough where it'll obtain some moisture and remain a hold. Right there I'm applying the Camille Rose Moisture Milk. And after that I am applying Naturally Niecy Twisting Butter, which is a local brand from Indiana. And she makes twisting butter, black soap shampoo, which is wonderful. Smells good too. And a couple other products. But I'm liking what I've used so far. I must say, I really am liking what I've used. I'll put all her details in the description box below if you'd like to try it out yourself. It's all natural products, handmade. I also put a little bit of the Camille Rose Curl Maker on just for a little bit of hold. But I'm thinking in the future, when I use these three products, or at least the moisture milk and the butter, with the butter, you really don't have to add a gel if you don't want to. I was trying to be extra, let me be honest. I was trying to be extra, and the Camille Rose Curl Maker is just a little too, I don't want to say a little too natural, because that ain't right. It's just, it don't have that oomph that like Wet Line or Eco will give you. Like all them chemicals be giving you them hold, and sometimes you need that hold, and I didn't have that hold this time. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, so I'm twisting up this back section, and just twisting, going back through the end and smoothing them out so that it'll twist nicely and leave my ends nice, because my ends are a little dry. After this, I went and got my ends clipped because they were going through some things. Let me tell you, they needed an eviction notice. And I'm also taking some small gray perm rods. You can use whatever perm rods you like, whatever curl you like to put on the end, just on the end, because my back will coil, but the front of my hair, where I told you I'm experiencing a little bit of heat damage, won't coil completely. So just for uniformity purposes, I like to put a perm rod on the back. And I didn't realize. Yeah, I'm going back through with my Denman. I rarely use the Denman, to be honest. I go through spans where I'll use it all the time, and then I'll go through a span where I won't pick up that thing at all. It just depends on whatever I'm feeling like. So I'm just going through and twisting that one, then I'll do the whole back off camera, and I'll come back when I get started on the front, because everybody knows how to do a twist. There's nothing special about it. Do a twist, put a perm rod on it, continue with the next section. And you can do your twists however big or small you want. And the back, I prefer to do them a little bit medium size, not completely small, but just medium size. And now in the front, I decided, out of laziness, let's be honest, I'm a lazy natural. I decided that I was going to do flat twists in the front. I was like, yeah, that would be cool. That'll save me a lot of time. So on the sides, I just parted. Your parts don't necessarily have to be neat either. I don't like to do perfect parts when I do a twist out, only because then that's more fluffing and stuff that I got to do to the roots, and I'm not a twist out kind of girl. I take the twist out, let it do what it do, because my hair is going to grow regardless, so I'm not trying to increase no tangles, trust me. So I'm just parting that down a little bit. Gotta get them full-grown edges, child, because they be trying to do their own thing. But yeah, so I like doing flat twists. Because one, like I said, out of laziness. Two, because it just makes it easier in the takedown process, especially because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big separate type of girl. So if you do a flat twist, you don't really have to separate as much because the separating was done as you were flat twisting. I'll probably end up doing a flat twist video as well. Show you how I do my flat twist out. But this was something real quick. A friend of mine asked me to do a twist out one day. We were sitting and talking. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my head. And I was like, oh, I might as well record it. That way she has something to reference. And I have something to reference. Because sometimes I'll do my hair just because I'm bored on a humbug. And it'll turn out bomb. And I'll be like, dang, what did I do? And I don't remember. So, and then sometimes I'll do my hair and it'll be a complete mistake and I learn from it and you guys can learn from it as well. Use me as your guinea pig. Don't do like I did when I first became natural and I was doing all kind of things that I thought was going to be cute and was tearing my hair up. That's why part of my hair in the front is toe up as it is now. But so I just flat twisted it. It didn't have to look super pretty. And I'm just twisting it down and smoothing out those ends again. But as you can see in the front, what I was talking about is my ends are very straggly and ugly looking when it comes to the front just because of that heat damage and color damage and all the damages that I've done to myself. I've been thinking about just dyeing my hair back black and just leaving it alone so that it can get back healthy to what it needs to be instead of me keep trying to dye it and stuff. I'm keep putting this cellophane that I got though because I got like 3 bottles of it. So once I get done with that cellophane, just because I've already spent my money on it, then I'll probably just go ahead and, just let the color fade out and maybe put some black dye on it. Maybe just put a black cellophane on it. Just something to help because it's looking a mess right now. It really is. I thought about trying out the Shea Moisture dyes if they even still had them because the one that I tried way back when didn't show no type of color to my hair. It was the Auburn one, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. I am rambling like a mug. I'm sorry, y'all. Clearly, my mind is everywhere right now. Yes, I'm just flat twisting, 2 on the side. And I'm putting the perm rod on. I think this is when I noticed that I didn't have that many perm rods left. So, it was either this side or the other side. But so in the front, it's 2 twists to a perm rod. I had to take some off the back and put them on the front, or else it just wasn't gonna work. Yeah, it was the other side. So in the top up here, this is where laziness comes to bite you in the butt. All right, because I got real lazy up here, and I was tired, and I was going through a lot of emotional things that week. I'll put it that way. In my life, I ain't gonna lie, life was kicking my butt that week. So I was trying to do my hair as a way of like, let me do something I like to do to get my mind off of it. But then I just got lazy and I was over it. And then my mind kept wandering while I was doing my hair. And it just made me keep thinking about what was going on in my life. So I got real lazy up here. Decided I'm going to just do 2 big old flat twists. Now let me tell you why I messed up here. I messed up because this is where I have the most heat damage, in this section right here at the top of my head. So therefore, I should have done smaller sections so that I could get the same type of curl pattern and definition that I would have gotten, that I did get in the back. Because the back was popping, the back and the sides, it was popping ton, let me tell you. But this situation up top, I was like, oh, it'll be all right. It's not going to be that bad. And in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have used the butter on top of the moisture milk up here because, like I said, my hair is a little different curl pattern. So I think that weighed it down a little bit more than what was necessary. And on top of that, I'm heavy-handed when it comes to products. So I was like, that's not going to help. So that's when I decided I'm going to just do a flat twist. And I'm not saying I'm the perfect, best flat twister in the world because Lord knows I'm far from it. I just do what I do to make it look good, and as long as I can look halfway decent, then I'm all right with it. And then that's another thing. I don't wear my hair down often. Usually it's in a puff or in some kind of updo that I've created because I don't like hair in my face. Like, I like it when I want to feel cute, like for like a day, and then after that, I'd be real quick and over it. So, just twisting it up, twisting the end up, and I should have put a bobby pin uh, right where the twist begins to leave the scalp to keep that tighter. But I didn't. Like I said, I was being lazy. I didn't do none of the stuff I usually do when I do a flat twist out. I was just, it was a mess. But you know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna show you the good and the bad. And if it comes out bad, then I'll just look ugly for a day or two, and then I'll rework it. So this is about a day or two later. Was it a day or two? I think it was a day later. Yeah, because we was getting ready to go somewhere, and I was like, oh well, let me not go looking like Aunt Jemima. Let me do something with myself. So I put the wild African, what's it called? The African growth oil that everybody be using. Y'all know what it's called. Don't judge me. That ain't the oil yet. But I just put some of that on my scalp, and then I put a little bit of grapeseed and avocado oil mix on my hands. So now I'm just taking down my twist. I usually will pull the twist straight and then just unloop one and let it, you know. And so I think I talked about this in my other video. Yeah. And then that situation at the end came because I was borrowing hair, and I shouldn't have been borrowing hair. I try not to. When I know I'm doing a twist out, I try not to borrow hair. And see there, I'm just shaking it out because that was a little chunky section. And if you shake the hair out a little bit, it'll start to separate on its own, and it'll show you where it'll separate without causing a whole lot of frizz. So that's all I'm doing there. And some of them, if the section looked too small, I wasn't going to play with it. I was going to let it do its own thing. Because like I said, my hair eventually does grow on its own. She definitely has a mind of her own. I'm not going to sit here and try to fight it. The worst thing you can do being a natural, let me tell you from experience, the worst thing you can do is try to fight your hair. If you just leave your hair be and let your hair, you learn to work with your hair instead of against it. Because when you work against it, you cause yourself way more issues than you would have had if you just worked with it. So, see, I just separated a little bit. That last little part, I was going to separate it some more, and I think I decided I'm going to leave that alone because it started to get frizzy. And that's another thing. Pay attention to what you're doing. Like, you can be a lazy natural and still pay attention to what you're doing. You know, you don't want to me, the two most important things whenever doing your hair is your technique, not necessarily the products, because you can use any kind of products and it'll give you any kind of result if you have the good technique. You want to make sure your technique is right and that you're patient. You do not need to do your hair when you're upset. When you're upset and you're doing your hair, you're going to cause more split ends, more breakage, because you're not going to have patience. And with curly hair, you have to have patience. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So just going through and then twisting some of this stuff. And I think eventually I speed this up a little bit. I'm just untwisting, separating a little bit here and there. I tend to separate more towards the top than at the bottom because the bottom rubs up against your clothes and everything else, so it's going to start frizzing and separating itself regardless of what you do. But I try to separate a little bit at the top, but I like my twist out to be a little bit more chunky. I'm not like Minnie Marley. I love her to pieces, but baby, when she separates, and I don't have that kind of patience. I'm not finna sit up here and lie. I'm honest with myself. I don't have that kind of patience. That's usually why if I'm doing a twist out, I'll usually do a flat twist out, because once I take the flat twist out, I don't got to do no separating. It's already separated, and I'm fine with how that looks most of the time. I may separate here and there, but I'm not going through and separating every single braid. So just taking down the flat twist in the front, and you see how all that looks all uniform and cute, and I'm like, oh, okay, girl, you did that. All right, you got to be looking cute. I was listening to some gospel, don't judge me. And then I took these big old dookie twists out, and I was like, you might have messed up a little bit. Just a little bit. But that's what happens when you're lazy. It may be quick on the front end, but on the back end, it'll bite you in the butt. So I was like, yeah, this may be a problem. This may be a one-day twist out. That's when I kind of realized. And I was trying to pick some pieces out, like, well, maybe it'll... Nah, player. It wasn't no saving that. And if I wasn't going anywhere, what I probably would have done is I probably would have left the rest of the twists in, and I would have undid these two twists, put a little bit of water on it, that good old H2O, and did some smaller flat twists, and then it would have been alright. If I would have just done like 2 more flat twists in that section, it probably would have been much better, especially because the flat twist was so big that those ends that were in the flat twist itself didn't get the same curl at the end that the ones with the perm rods did. But overall, I was like, okay, you look cute, you look cute. We might can work this for the day. So that's the finished product. And I was like, okay, all right, hey. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, I will read the comments and try to respond to as many as possible. Thank you.